this in the mail today. Came in priority mail, ordered off Amazon, still comes in a USPS box. It is from Ohio Diesel Parts. It's on Amazon. Wasn't Prime, it still got here in like 2 days. It's the rear seat recline kit for a Jeep. I have a 2016 Wrangler Unlimited. I don't sit in the back seat, of course, but I have got back there to try it out, and it sits kind of straight up and down. So what this is supposed to do is allow you to lean the seat back a little bit more, just 2 inches. If I can never open this stupid box. I should have poured the box in the first place. Alright, so Ohio Diesel Parts, made in the U.S.A, which is cool. I don't know who invented this thing. There's tons of them online. I was looking at Warpig, but they were out of stock when I looked at them, and they were much more expensive. Now, theirs were actual aluminum, I believe. And these are Delrin plastic or something. I don't know what that means. Jeep Wrangler rear seat. There's their actual website. I haven't even checked that out yet. I just saw it on Amazon. So I got it. Instructions. Lots of bolts. And plenty of these guys. So that's just plastic. But, I mean, it seems like a sturdy enough material. Smells great. That's a weird smell. I'm sure that will dissipate, but as of right now, it's unpleasant. Now these are metal. Let's see, that grease on my fingers from the. Alright, so this is essentially what the kit is. This is basically the heavy lifter, you know. Alright, so I'm gonna go and try to give this an install. My fingers are super greasy now from these things, so I'm gonna wear some gloves. Alright, so put these on paper towels so it'll show up under the black background. Getting ready to get to work. I got these cut-proof gloves for when I do the soundproofing. I don't want to cut my fingers up. I'm going to wear them now in case my hand slips from the bolts and I tear up my knuckles. So you need an 18mm socket. So, and you're going to need a breaker bar. There's just a ratchet with a regular 18mm. And I also got 1/2 inch, so this is 3/8, it's a 1/2 inch ratchet. And then we got our breaker bar. It's not a very big breaker bar, but I got a pipe if I need some extra leverage. And I also got an impact, a drill, whatever, if I need it. I got these from my father-in-law. It's good to have an old guy around that gives you tools. Alright, so and it says everything you need to use it. I have a kicker subwoofer back here, and I'm going to replace this with the NBX. This one's pretty, so you got a little bit of slack there. Well, it's coming off now. It just clips onto the back. These little things just clip onto the back of the seat. So I'm hoping it'll still work once I get these installed. Alright, starting the back of the rear seat, using 18mm socket and wrench to loosen. Oh, also I got a beer. You want some beer when you're working on stuff. And it's always good to work and have beer. Anyway, breaker bar, impact gun to make it easier. Yeah, I'm super strong, so I think I'm just gonna cut through these bolts like hot knife on butter. Probably not. So, the 18mm socket wrench, loosen the bolt labeled I in figure 1. So we're gonna start right here, which should be back here. So I'm gonna move all this stuff out of the way. I hand the camera to the worst cameraman in the world, and I'm gonna open this beer string. And I'm gonna put these gloves on so I don't bust my knuckles. I also got this. I'm gonna put this on. I got this for whenever I solder some wires, but I'm gonna put it on those bolts just to make sure it doesn't, so it don't leak and stuff. These gloves are a little small. Clearly, I should pay attention to the size when I got them. Alright, so you can see this just unclips. And here's my subwoofer. I'm removing that for the moment. So, according to this chart, we should do the back of the rear seat labeled I in figure 1. Well, there's only one figure. So, it's gotta be there. There you go. This may surprise you, but I don't do a lot of that stuff. So we're gonna open this guy first. I'm gonna try the half entry. Alright, so this is my breaker bar. And obviously we're gonna go righty tighty, lefty loosey. Look at that raw power. That's a little hard, but it's not like some people made it out to be. Alright, well, it doesn't give. Alright, so I go to switch to ratchet now. Let's check this and see if it says remove or not. Loosen the bolt, but do not remove them completely. Alright, so cameraman released some poisonous gas here. Take a break there. Alright, so and then H and J, which would be these two back ones. So this one here, H and J. Yeah, so good. Yeah, that wasn't terrible. This is a new Jeep. I mean, not new. I mean, it's 2016. I bought it new. It's never been out before, so I don't know. Maybe it's just the luck of the draw. Or I'm just super strong. Or Louisville City beer gives you power. It's actually Fall City, but I will use the breaker bar to get it off. just about hand tight. So, of course, my son sits back there and he weighed in 103 pounds today, so maybe he shook it loose with all that weight. Alright, so next, remove the bolts that mount the seat frame to the floor. A, B, C, and D. So that's going to be inside the front. So, let's get these two guys. There's a little suit right there. Alright, so loosen the bolts but not remove them. This will loosen the seat frame. Remove the bolts that mount the seat frame to the floor. Fold bolts labeled A, B, C, and D. So that's these first couple ones here. Alright, so this part's kind of stuck because there's not a lot of room. So you see it right here. That would be D in this picture. We're going to start with this one. This one, this will be harder than the back, but it's just a more awkward angle. It'll be easier to take this plastic wrap out. This one is harder, but it's not unbearable, so. I do recommend gloves. I've pinched my finger about twice already, so. Alright, so now I'm just going to have to show these. I'm not going to be able to record this. These angles are. So hold this. Alright, so I'm gonna get this. I'll move the seat forward. I'm gonna get this out of the way. This guy just pops right out and untucks from there. It's pretty dirty anyhow. Right, so that gives me room to get to these guys. So you can see the 4 guys there that I need to get to. But again, I'm not gonna film these, so I'm doing this one. I just did this one. I'm going to do this one next, and then the other 2 there, but I'm going to not film it because it's a hard angle, but I think you can figure out once I show you how to do one. Alright, so I've loosened these all up. It'll teach you how dirty your floor is. I found a bunch of pins. This one, and the far guy weren't bad. This guy here is a monster. All my trash talk caught up to me on this one. I'm all sweating. I had to drink some more beer for more beer strength. But the instructions say, whereas it said loosen the back ones, these are supposed to fully remove. So I got them loose. It's still not super easy. That's my left hand though. So anyhow, I'm gonna get these out and then we'll check the next step. Alright, so far I've only gotten 4 of these out. I'm drenched in sweat. So I've gotten those 4 out up front here. Soaked in sweat. Not looking forward to this next step. Three bolts in the rear, E, F, G, which is E, F, G, and that is going to be those back there, and I don't know how I'm possibly going to get those out, if they're going to be that hard. I how I'm gonna do this. Alright, I'll turn the camera off while I try to do this. Another drink of beer, and in addition to beer strength, they gave me some beer smarts. So I laid this seat down. Grab this little guy here to lay it down, and that should at least gives me some kind of angle into there, so I can try to undo it. But I don't know if this video wants to hear me grunting and pulling on this thing, so I'm gonna stop it, and then we'll come back and I'll see if this is a productive idea or not. For this one, at least it works pretty good. And that wasn't really just one big super grunt and I got it out. The other ones may not be so easy, but at least for this one, climbing back here in the back of the truck, Jeep, my apologies, that seems to be working. Get some more beer strength. And see if I can get this done before dark. Time's not my friend here though. Clearly, I didn't get a whole lot of beer smarts, because how stupid is this? Once you take those bolts out, you can just lift this seat up. So that was pretty stupid. But now I know. So alright, so clearly I did all that with that weird angle, and now it's gonna be cake to get this thing out of here. But I still gotta hold the seat up like this. I have an assistant, but it's terrible at everything. So I'm trying to. Actually, this one's get. Yeah, so stupid. Could have had this thing out 10 minutes ago. Alright, there we go. You can see the hole. Even though I'm not going to reuse these, I'm pretty sure the kit comes with its own. You can throw them in there just in case. I gotta see where my other one is. F and G right there. Alright. Alright, so yeah, obviously that comes up super easy. You got that and that there, so sometimes beer smarts aren't great. Still got beer strength though. Alright, so I'm gonna take that one out and this one out. Don't inadvertently take out the seatbelt one, because that's not what we're taking out. We're taking out this guy and this guy. Well, obviously the mounts are gonna go on these guys here. But I'm gonna stop the video for this one. It's getting late. I gotta hurry up. Alright, I almost got them out, but not quite. It's getting too dark. What time is it? It is 9:20, so it's getting dark here. I don't want to do this with my flashlights. Go tell my boss, but I got time to do this during the workday tomorrow, so I'm going to do this tomorrow morning. I don't know if I need to, but I'm going to take those holes up, so just in case, or put something down in there, keep bugs and shit out of here. And then I'm gonna drink some more beer strength, so I can go strong, go to bed strong, wake up smart. Alright, so I retract some of my shit talk from before I started. It's a lot harder than I thought it was gonna be, but mainly because it's awkward angles, and if you had like some kind of extension, maybe it'd be easier. I don't know, but this is the cool thing about the Jeep for me, is I never did any of this stuff before, and now I'm doing all this stuff with little to no instructions. Alright, get back tomorrow. Alright, so I'm starting the next day. I piled all the stuff back to the Jeep and get back started. I very wisely waited until 11 a.m. so it's nice, and that's the coolest part of the day, obviously. somebody's helper slept in like they're on summer vacation or something. Alright, so now I went ahead and I just kind of screwed those back in a little bit just so there wouldn't be open holes overnight in the Jeep. Didn't want a bunch of spiders getting in here and I'd have to burn it. So my Jeep is filthy. I don't go off-roading or anything. I still got this dirty just from having kids back here. Alright, so I'm going to continue taking these bolts out and then we'll get to the next step. Alright, so now I have them all out here. This one here is kind of a pain. You're going to need an extension of some sort. But you can see everything's out. Now we're going to move on to the next steps. Alright, so now you're going to put the small squares under the rear bracket. EFG. EFG. So that's the three. So I want these three small guys here. Alright, so I very stupidly did not read this part first and didn't have a 19mm socket, so I went to old Home Depot, picked me up an 18mm for a 3/8 and a 1/2 inch. And I got some bigger gloves while I was there because I was tired of these being too small for my hand. You see the blue line versus the XL. Cut resistance and touchscreen compatible. Does work. You can use your touchscreen while these, which is pretty cool. Alright, so now I'm going to use the 19mm socket to put these guys in place. So between all my delays, now we're at noon on a June Kentucky day. Obviously the best time to work on stuff. So I've switched from beer power to Perrier power. Alright, so now we're going to put these small ones in these back sections here. Over here and over here. We're going to put this so the goal is to lift these up, put these underneath them, and then put the new bolts and washers in. So here's the new bolt, and there's the old bolt. So you can see the new one is a little bit longer. The new ones are a little bit longer to compensate for the extra piece here, right? Well, this will all just lean up real easy. Just gonna slide that in here. Next time I change gloves. Alright, I'll switch to these kind of gloves. My wife's allergic to latex, and I want to get this good. So I'm gonna use this stuff, silicone paste, hopefully to kind of water seal these when I screw them back in. Alright, so I switched to these gloves. I just don't want to get this grease on my hands. I'm going to use this silicone paste, dielectric grease. It lubricates safe on metal, rubber, and plastic parts. Prevents oxidation. My goal is water resistance, so it should keep water out of the Jeep, or condensation, whatever. So we're on step 3. Place 3 smaller squares under the 3 rear brackets. Then using a 19mm socket, tighten 3 of the provided replacement bolts and washers to 56 pounds of torque. I have no idea. I'm just going to use my man strength and tighten them down. So you see, this guy, we're just guiding it right under here. I'm going to kind of set it down a little bit there. I'm going to loosen those back bolts a little more so I got a little more space here. Alright, just clarify, make sure you're doing E, F, and G, not H, I, J. So now we're going to use a 19mm socket. socket. I'm using a 1/2 inch ratchet. Using the new ones, which are the smooth black. I'm gonna get these other ones out of here so I don't confuse them. He says you can still use them, but obviously I'd rather use the longer ones. This grease shouldn't have like a little brush on the end there. It looks like it's kind of bent. That's alright though. Alright, so you got your washer. Obviously your washer goes in here. I'm trying to pseudo place this with a little bit of pressure from the seat. Adjust it just so. And then I'm going to take this goo, just a little dab around there. It's probably too much, but should be alright. These gloves are really doing the trick. They're already coming apart. So I don't want to cross thread them, so I'm going to finger tighten it. I feel like I need a little more leverage here. I'm lifting the seat some. To get my leverage right, I'm going to use both of these at the same time. So I'm going to put this guy here. I'm pushing. Alright, so now we're holding up that side. So I'm going to do the same thing to this side. Get in there and then just kind of hand tighten it so I don't strip the threads. Alright, this one right here, just about maybe want to sell my Jeep. I had to squeeze both these together. I'm going to lift this guy up, pull this lever, and then undo the back side just to get that one to line up. It's taking a very long time. The rest of them went in pretty easily, but that's kind of what I had to do to get this one to line up so I could just kind of hand tighten it in the first place. Now it still seems like it's going to be a pain in the ass getting on the back side there. So let's see how it works out. Awesome. Alright, so it took a lot of force to get this one back here to get back on after I did that. Hopefully I didn't bend this thing. Now we're going to try to tighten them down. That's the steps here, right? Make sure you align the spacers and the squares to the bracket. Use 19mm to tighten 3 of the brad bolts and washers. Yeah, so tighten them all the way down. You can see how much I'm sweating here. Gloves because my hands are slick from sweating. These little gloves suck, but these are pretty great. It's Perrier power. This was the worst one to get out. This is the easiest one to get in so far. And that far rear passenger side one is just the worst. So, kind of have this hand. I think I got it. Tell you I'm gonna get it without breaking either my arm or this thing. You see the spacer there. I got enough room for my fingers underneath there. Take a picture of that. Now do the terrible ones. Well, the worst part of this is I'm right-handed, so this is kind of hard to do with your left hand. Yeah, that's about as tight as you get that guy. So, now it's time to do my mortal enemy here. You can see here, this is my stereo wire. I'll reroute that. Factory did, or the dealer did that. I'm gonna replace it though. You can see, that's your extra space you get there, and get my fingers underneath there. Still solid, this isn't moving anywhere. For this one here, I finally had to give up and go back to the factory bolt. Still got the spacer in there, if you can see, but for some reason I just could not get the Ohio bolt in there. The other one's working no problem. And this one I could not get. So I finally switched out to the factory one, but it seems in there snug. So this is 18 millimeter instead of 19 millimeter, so but you can see it's so it's in there good, and I can guarantee you this is never coming out again. So, alright, so now I got those three in there. That's her sweat. Step 4 is place the 4 larger spacers under the front bracket to the rear seat. Place the spacer with the bolt hole towards the back. Make sure to align the spacers to the square of the bracket. So here you can see this guy like that with the, so you know, there's my front seat, there's the back of my back seat. We're gonna want to put this guy down in there. This should be easier since they're at a better angle. These are a suck angle. These are better. So that's not how you do it. You want to have this guy down. Put this guy here. Then you want to put this right on top of it. And that should line up a lot better than the previous ones. You can't see that from this phone angle, but and this one you even got room to, you know, pick this guy up and kind of hand guide it in there, so it works good. I'll do that with the rest of these, and then I'll come back. Alright, you see I got all 4 of them just hand started. So what's there? Put some grease on them, and I'm just gonna try to hand screw them in. Alright, now I got these in. These are way easier. These were pretty cake. This one was a little awkward, a bit of an angle, but you know, I got it good on there. I didn't use a drill, right? Just good old man strength. It says 56 pounds of pressure I put in 238 pounds of beef into it, so now I gotta do those two over there. Alright, so I tighten those two down. You can see them there. It's a little bit of leverage you get. You can already tell by looking at it, it's leaning back more than before. There's some of my grease on there, you can see. This was the nightmare getting out. And that back one back there was my mortal enemy getting it in. So, yeah, so it's cake right now. Getting this guy on here. And so you can see this one going in there smooth as butter. So, and I reused the same bolt I was having problems with on the back side, on that front side. It didn't give me any problems, so I don't know what it is. Wasn't meant to be, I guess, but like I said, this guy's no problem. Yeah, it says 56 pounds of pressure. I'm going to use 238 pounds of beef pressure. I'll get that guy in. So this guy here, so this is in, like I said. I've got it pretty tight. I mean, I could probably go harder, but I don't want to snap anything off. So this guy here, and now it's, I'm not looking forward to because it sucked so bad first time around, but now I got that grease on there. Maybe it'll go in easier. Alright, so far seems pretty good. There's a lot more room with these front ones. The back one was at an awkward angle getting them out. Right now, I'm right-handed, so it's pretty easy. Obviously, if you had power tools, it'd be easier, but I am going to take a chance of breaking anything. I don't have an air compressor and didn't want to buy one just for this. Nor would have anywhere to put it. I'll tell you what though, I'm planning on taking these seats out again to laying down sound deadener, sound dampening material. I will not be removing that back part for anything. I'll take these front four out and just lift it up, but no way I'm undoing that back again. Alright, tighten it up here. Alright, I can see. Large spacers, use 19mm socket, supply washers, and then retighten the nuts and bolt in the back of the seat. So now I need to use my 18mm. These guys here that I took off in the first place. That's good. That one's good. So just looking at it, you can see how much more lean back it is. You can really get an idea. I didn't measure it beforehand. Just gonna take the word for it. Now I just gotta put my subwoofer back in and make sure. So I realize these things are kind of bent. One of those is bent. I don't know which one it is. Either way, maybe they're supposed to be that way. I don't know. So I'm gonna see if I can put my subwoofer back in here. I realize very few people have this subwoofer, but it's nice to see that it still clamps on there. Seat's still on, it's not going down anywhere. I'm just gonna plug this subwoofer back in. And just put that in there like that, and then put the little red guy to tap it back. So, there we go. But yeah, so you can see, so getting a little more room here as well. And looks like the back seat does look a lot roomier. I never get in the back seat, obviously, but it was a huge pain in the ass. But I guess I'm glad I did it. So I do have passengers back here. So we'll have to wait and see what they say in their next road trip. But so far, looks pretty good. I gotta say, the kit, $26, is pretty great. Yeah, all my seats will fold down correctly. So let's check that. Yeah, no problem. Alright, so I'm gonna give it a thumbs up. Alright, here's a look of it with the mat back in. You can see it barely sticks above that. So yeah, pretty good little kit. You won't even notice it really, other than more comfort.